Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. We're back with another edition, another quick edition of IDP. Today we have a couple kind of louder indie guitar records, as well as some dream pop, some indie pop, that sort of thing. I'm going to be traveling next week, but I still expect to have another new edition of IDP next weekend for the truly masochistic doucheheads out there. Anyway, feel free to grab yourself an ice cold beer and let's get started. First up, we have the fifth full-length album for the Canadian artist. Goes by the name Kestrels. The album is titled Better Wonder and it's out now on Darla Records. We were big fans of the 2020 LP Dream or Don't Dream by the band Kestrels, so this one was hotly anticipated. This is very melodic, 90s inspired, noisy, fuzzy, distorted guitar rock. It has some elements of shoegaze, of post-punk, a lot of like variety of 90s alternative rock vibes. On this album, Kestrels features members of the band North of America, as part of the band on this album. There's also guest appearances from Alex Edkins of the band Mets, Alex Gehring of Ringo Death Star, and even Tim Wheeler of the Irish band Ash. I'm pretty sure I prefer that last 2020 LP Dream or Don't Dream over this one, but I think it's still pretty strong. If you like that last Hotline TNT album, this is totally, right up your alley. 1990s alt-rock fans, especially even some moderately like mainstream mid-90s era alternative rock, I think fans of that kind of thing would find a lot to like on here as well. Jay Mascis played on one song on that last album, and you can still hear a lot of the Dinosaur Jr. influence along with your Sonic Youth, a little bit of My Bloody Valentine, that sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, loud, melodic, distorted guitar rock. That is Kestrels, name of the group, and the new album is titled Better Wonder. We have a new debut album, that features a long list of guests, including Britta Phillips of Luna and Dean and Britta, Christopher Owens from the band Girls, has Guy Blakesley of the Entrance Band, Kid Congo Powers of the Gun Club, the Cramps, the Bad Seeds, etc., etc. Ruth Radley, I think if I'm saying that right, of Chromatics, has Tess Parks, has Zumi Razo of Black Lips, and more. There's a bunch of guests. This is a project from a photographer / filmmaker named Robert Ascroft, and this LP is titled Echo Still Remains. So Robert Ascroft is apparently a classically trained guitarist, and he assembled a studio team and then brought in all these guest musicians, guest artists to perform lead vocals on these different tracks. It gives it somewhat of a like This Mortal Coil feel. The music is psychedelic, kind of noirish, cinematic, sort of haunting dream pop. I would say that the nature of this album, with, you know, different tracks having different lead vocalists, it really has me gravitating more towards some songs versus others. But I think the whole thing is worth checking out, and it really has come together with me, or for me, with additional spins. Once again, that is Robert Ascroft, and this release is titled Echo Still Remains. It's out now on Hand Drawn Dracula. All right, next we have a trio from the woods in Northern California. They're called Vulture Feather, and their second, I believe their second LP is called It Will Be Like Now, and it's out on Felte Records. Vulture Feather features members, or former members, of the Don Martin 3, Wilderness, and Lord Dogbird. This is, I'd say, indie rock slash post-punk, maybe a little bit of your like mid-90s emo rock, a little bit-ish. I hear the influence of bands like Shudder to Think, like Superchunk, maybe even Polvo in spots. I would say the lead vocals by Colin McCann are somewhat distinct and probably polarizing. It's fun, high energy indie rock, but maybe you can't get over I guess if you can't vibe with the vocals, because they're distinct and out front. Like if you don't like the vocals, you probably won't like the album. Yeah, fans of like driving, arty indie rock with, you know, even like 80s post-punk fans, also this one is worth checking out. Again, the name of the band, the trio, they're called Vulture Feather, and the new LP is titled It Will Be Like Now. Love me down that road, my soul. There's a pain in your eyes that I just can't stand. My friend, play paranoia, sees the streets lead all that you perceive. Let my hand abiding in pursuit of something it can't see. Next up, we have the hotly anticipated second full-length LP from the all-female trio. They were originally from Chicago, but now based in New York City. They're called Horsegirl, and this album is titled Phonetics On and On. This is a young group that is heavily inspired by 90s indie rock heroes. Their 2022 debut LP had, you know, layers of dense guitar distortion, shared commonality with, say, like Sonic Youth, some almost like pop shoegaze tendencies as well. This album, their second release, really leaves all that behind for the most part. This is far more minimal, more offbeat, intimate, easygoing, relaxed, has a stripped, you know, very stripped down feel, has more of a, say, Young Marble Giants style versus the last album. Definitely less immediately engaging to the debut. This one is more of a grower, I would say. I feel like this is an album that you definitely need to sit with and kind of absorb. I think the songwriting is very strong. I feel like after just a handful of listens really that I've had, I like the second half of the album, I think, a lot more than I like the front part of the album, but still a solid listen overall, and I would still recommend it. I think sometimes there's a hurdle of your expectations not being met, especially initially. You're expecting one thing, you get another. I can definitely see a lot of people that were fans of that first Horsegirl album listening to this one time and not even, like, just not giving it a chance because their expectations aren't being met really at all. But anyway, I would definitely say it's an album worth spending time with. That is Horsegirl, back with their second LP titled Phonetics On and On. I also mentioned that album sleeve looks influenced somewhat by Spaceman 3. Anyway, that one is out now on Matador Records.
Say, 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 say.